Morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, and I want to talk a little bit today about what to say on those initial phone calls that come in from your texting efforts and emailing efforts. So in other words, what we're talking about here is when you're first reaching out to the seller, your very first attempt, or it's a second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth attempt, but the first interaction you've had with the seller. So in other words, you're asking that initial question: would they consider selling, or would they consider lease to own, depending on which way you're trying to go with it. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what you say on the phone when those calls come in. Jeez, it's super bright this morning. So in other words, you've sent a text out, they've received your text, sometimes they'll text back. I always try to turn those text conversations into a phone call as fast as possible. You don't want to be texting back and forth, because next thing you'll know, you'll be trying to explain what a lease option is over text, and you think it's hard to do over the phone without having the offer in front of your seller. Try texting it. That's even worse. So you're texting them, hey, would you be interested in selling? Would you consider selling? Would you consider rent to own? Or one of those things, and they respond back. So what we're talking about here is what to say when they respond back, or what questions to ask. And the reason this is coming up is we have been working with Farah, as you know. She's an investor who's submitted properties and expressed interest, and whatever, is trying to get going just like the rest of us. And anyway, she's been very consistent with her offers, and is a stay-at-home mom, but is busy with that kind of stuff. But anyway, we needed some help with live answering our phones, and I have two of us that partake in the live answering, but sometimes it's just we can't get to it for whatever reason. We're doing something else, or on another call, but our phones have picked up significantly, and we need help there. So we talked to Farah yesterday about possibly what we do is we have a VUMBR number. It rhymes. I didn't realize that. But anyway, we have a VUMBR number, and so people call that. It rolls to me first. If I don't get it, it rolls to Grant, and then if Grant wasn't to pick it up, it would then roll to Farah, and she's going to help us out with that, and then she'll be compensated for doing that. But it's still commission. We're still looking at a commission-based thing with her, and I think she'll be on board with that. And then if she can close the deal, or if she can put a deal under contract while she's on the phone, we'll make it even more of an incentive for her. But the idea is we just want her to be able to take a message, and somebody who understands what we're doing, is coherent and well-spoken, which Farah is both. She's intelligent. She gets it. She's not gonna break down the entire deal and get into it with the seller and all this and that, but she's definitely understands well enough how to gather the information we need, which really all we desperately need in that first phone call is the email address, right? But I like the idea of having somebody competent that can field some basic questions, and then if it gets too complicated, you can just steer it back. She'll be able to just steer it back to me by saying, hey, I'm an assistant at the company, or I'm new, or whatever. Guys, something critical that I learned in sales a long time ago, I had a great sales mentor. His name was Craig Winslow. He sold copiers in Maine, Portland, Maine. And this guy is a great guy, number one. Dad, father, man, just a nice guy. Took me under his wing, showed me how to do everything, and helped me, I can't even tell you, in numerous other ways in a tough time in my life. But anyway, Craig Winslow is his name, and he told me something about sales, and it's so true in this business or any business with sales. Ask people for help if you're struggling, and their nature is to want to help you. So if you're bumbling and fumbling on the phone, throw yourself under the bus. Just tell them, oh my God, you know, I am screwing this phone call up so badly right now. I am surprised you haven't hung up on me. If you do something like that, guys, the seller is going to respond. Their response is going to be, oh, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. They're going to want to make you feel better. So if you're struggling, you know, in a conversation, you don't know what to say, and you're feeling awkward, and it's bad, just throw yourself right under the bus to the person you're talking to, and you'd be surprised at how well that works and turns the conversation around and loosens up a tough seller, right? The human nature is, even the meanest person, they want to help you. So asking for help is a very good way to get the seller's guard down when you're talking to them. So that would be my first piece of advice. When they call, first thing I say is, hey, I'm an investor from California. I want that on the table immediately. I don't know why we got such a glare going here. Sorry. I want that right out on the table. I'm not going to BS around and pretend like I'm looking at a house with my wife or any of that stuff. And some, I mean, even Joe McCall, who I like a lot, as far as a teacher, will use a little bit more roundabout approach as far as how he says he's going to handle the property when he's talking to the seller. I just would rather just get it out on the table. I'm an investor. I'm going to try. They ask me, you know, what are you going to do? I'm going to try to sell this house before I have to pay you. Or I might buy the house and then I might do a lease option with it. You know, if that's what makes the most sense for me, Mr. Seller. So I'm an investor. I could buy this in many different ways. What I meant with this first text is just to see if there's any interest at all. And what I really want to do is just get you on the phone and talk to you and let you know about our programs. Because honestly, if you've just come on the market, and I'll usually decide which way I'm going to go with this by asking this question. So I'll start the phone call with, hey, I'm an investor from California. You know, we can look at your property several different ways. You know, how long has your property been on the market? And depending on their answer, that's how I'll phrase the conversation. So this is basically what we're going to ask Farah to do, right? People are going to call in. They're going to say, hey, I got a text from you guys about buying my house or rent to own or something. What's that all about? And so Farah's going to, and I don't mean to make that face and that nasty voice for the seller. Most sellers are just fine. I don't know why I chose that old spinster voice to do my seller imitation. But anyway, so Farah will take the call, or you know, Grant or I take the call. Now what we do is we just say, hey, we're investors. You know, I work with Right Direction Advisors. We're a company, we're based out of California, but we got partnerships in your area and throughout the country. You can check out our website. It's rd-advisors.com. We actually have 23 of them, so rightdirectionadvisors.com works as well. We have multiple pages for various cities and areas we're working in, and etc. But just Google us and you'll see us on social media and online and all that stuff if you're interested in checking us out. But anyway, what I wanted to do is ask you a couple questions about the listing I saw on Craigslist. How long has that thing been on the market? It's a really nice looking house. And the seller will respond, oh, I just listed it yesterday. It's been on there for 6 months, or whatever their response is. And if the response is, I just listed it yesterday, then I'm going to say, look, what I have to offer is probably not even going to make sense to you right now. I mean, it wouldn't make sense to me if I just listed yesterday. I'd still be looking to have a conventional sale and have things go the way I was planning. So what I like to do in a situation like this is, if it's okay with you, I just like to get your email address, and then I can send you some creative ways that we could acquire your property. And that way you've just got them in your bag of tricks in the case that you need it down the road. Let's say, you know, things don't work out the way we want them to with the property, and you're sitting here in 2 or 3 months and wanting to look at some other options that you might have with the property. At least you'll have my information and kind of the structure of what we do in front of you. So if you want to send me your email, I'll shoot that over to you. Like I said, it's probably not going to make sense for you today, but not going to hurt you to have the information anyway. So that's how I'll frame the conversation. And normally it doesn't go that long. You know, I just tell them, look, I get it. You know, it's my strategies work best usually for a seller that's been on the market for a while, or somebody who's inherited the property, or, you know, just wants to be unburdened of it. You know, that's where we're the best fit. So, you know, I don't have any problem telling them that. I'd rather get that on the table early, and then most of the time they'll accept your offer. Now you've told them, hey, look, I realize that this isn't ideal. I realize this isn't what you're looking for, but it may be something you need down the road, and most sellers are going to accept it when you put it that way. If you're sneaky about it and you say, oh, my wife and I are looking for properties in the area, or we're looking for a home in the area, and you make it sound like you're going to move in with your wife and family, and then you get further down the process, I find that turns the sellers off and becomes a deterrent, and almost loses you the deal. I mean, they feel like you lied to them or sneaky. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a person who doesn't like to be manipulated. I don't like salespeople manipulating me with sales games. I'm an outside salesperson by career, so I don't do that to people because I hate it when it gets done to me. I don't like being guided. Just tell me the situation and we'll go from there. I got my power water here this morning, which I gave everyone the breakdown on yesterday, so I won't bore you with it again today. So anyway, guys, that's it. I'm trying to get their email on that first call, right? I'm just trying to get their email, and just be subtle about how you're doing it. Don't hammer them over the head. And the biggest mistake I see is lack of patience to stick with this business and just make your offers on a daily basis, and lack of patience in talking to these sellers and trying to put offers out. Everybody's so worried about getting it done immediately. Oh, my offer's done yet? We get everything done? Guys, calm down. We don't need to be eager to these sellers. I want you to talk to them on the phone, and I want it to be 2 days until you send them the offer. I don't want you telling them, oh my God, I'll get you an offer immediately, and no, we need to do this. And the more you try to push it, you're never going to sell a lease option to somebody, guys. You need to let them sell it to themselves, and you need to calm down. Make them wait a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think it's to our benefit and keeps us firmly entrenched in the power position in the negotiation. Remember, we want to be sold to. We don't want to be trying to sell our stuff to people. All we want to do is present it as an option and let volume and nature take its course. And by that, I mean, there's a ton of houses out there, so make a ton of offers, do a ton of follow-ups, and some of these houses will fall into your lap because the seller will decide that it's the right time for them to go with one of your creative programs. You're never going to talk them into it, and if you do, they're going to resent you for it, and it's going to be a problem. So don't even try, guys. All right, that's it. It's pretty basic. We're just going to guide them to get their email. It's basically the same calls Farah's been doing, but that's all you want to do on those first calls, guys. Get their email so you can send them an offer, or you can submit it to us and we can send them an offer for you. Either way, the phone call remains the same, whether you're working with us or you're on your own and have your own Podio and follow-up system or whatever you're doing. The conversation remains the same, and I firmly believe that you want to get an email. Everybody bitches at me about it, and they want me just to do offers without emails, but I don't, because you can't follow up on them the way we need to. And I just find it's a waste of time, and I don't want to waste your time or my time. I don't want you submitting, 100 offers that don't have emails on them, and then they just, how do we even know they got the offer? We don't have any way to follow those up on a consistent basis other than, I do send some like that on my own offers, and let me tell you, it's not good, because I feel like I waste my time every time I'm doing one, because I know it's not going to get the follow-up that it needs. And I'm telling you guys, these deals don't happen until you follow it up on the offer 5 or 6 times. They don't happen the day you send the offer very often. It's very rare. So I can't tell you how important follow-up is, and I can't tell you how important getting that email is, and that's why we do it. That's why I stress it. And so anyway, that's it, guys. That's what we're trying to do. So the phone call is real simple. You're going to get them on the phone. You're going to tell them you saw the listing. You're going to chit-chat a tiny little bit, and then you're going to get to the meat of it, which is, how long have you been on the market? If you've been on the market a long time, then you launch into your programs and how, sometimes these these creative programs can be a solution to a headache for a seller that's in a situation like you're in, Mr. Seller, right? If they just got on the market, hey, my programs may not work for you at the moment, and I totally understand. You know, I would definitely want to give this a little time on the conventional market before I did one of my programs, because, you know, they're a little bit different. They have a little bit more risk involved, but they can work very well in the right situation, and it's not going to hurt to at least have the information. So why don't you shoot me your email, and I'll send over what I've got, and then, you know, keep it in the bag for a couple of months, and if you need to, you can take it back out and take a look, and we can revisit at that time. So that's pretty easy, right? That's all you got to do. Find out how long they've been on the market, then guide the conversation to get their email with a simple remark. Hey, it probably won't work for you, or hey, you know, maybe you want to take a look at this. I don't know what your situation is, but, you know, let me at least put this in front of you, and that way you'll have it. If it's crazy, it's crazy. No worries. But anyway, that's the gist of those phone calls. That's it. That's all I had for today, guys. It is Wednesday. Have a great Wednesday, and we will talk soon. Thanks. Bye.